What is going on, gamers? As many of you know, we had the Magic World Championships last weekend. A lot of the decks were very similar to each other, but this one, piloted by Jean Emmanuel Depraz, went to second place and was the only deck of its kind in the field, and I thought it looked pretty interesting and strong when watching him play it, so I wanted to try it out here. It is Gruul splashing blue for 2 negates in the main and 2 disdainful strokes in the sideboard, trying to win by slamming Esika's Chariot and or Goldspan Dragon early and just doming your opponent. And we have a whole bunch of value rampy 1 and 2 drops to try and get those out early. Reckless Stormseeker is another good one to give the Chariot haste, which makes it even more busted than it already is. And we've got a little bit of removal in the main with Dragon's Fire and Shatterskull Smashing. And that's pretty much what we're trying to do. Everything else is ramp. We have Ranger class because we're playing green and creatures, and Ranger class is one of the best cards in Standard. Innkeeper helps gain us life against other aggressive decks, which very much comes in handy. And we've got creature lands, all the good stuff. The sideboard is interesting, to say the least. It's definitely built for the tournament. Yeah, we have a lot of Burning Hands because there was mono green, and Burning Hands, of course, is great against mono green. I have found the mono green matchup to still be a little tough with this deck, as they also have a lot of value and make it difficult to attack, but if you get your perfect start of Sentinel into Magda, then you're golden. We have Tangle Trap, which I've seen in a lot of sideboards. I don't really like. I've never found this card to be great. The Dragons decks that Tangle Trap is generally for are not really playing enough dragons for this to be worth it over just another aggressive creature, really. Yeah, once they have a dragon and are able to do stuff with it, Tangle Trap is not going to win you the game from that point most of the time. Being aggressive instead earlier often will. We've got a whole bunch of just new value creatures here as well, which I'm not really sure where you want to use each of them. Kessig Naturalist is especially good on the play because it more likely attacks profitably and is good ramp to go along with all your other ramp. Reckless Stormseeker comes in pretty much always to give your Chariot haste. Brightridge Tracker gives you a little card advantage in grindy matchups and can often give you a 2-for-1, which is decent against mono green as well, because it becomes a 4-3 and it can trade with trolls and whatnot. But this deck can still run out of cards pretty easily. There's no real card engine other than casting creatures off the top of the Ranger class, but we have more non-creatures than a lot of Ranger class decks with the negate and Dragon's Fire. But it still works pretty well. It's a fun deck. Let's go and try it out. Get to go first. This hand doesn't really do anything. I think we can do better. We need a red source, but we should find one. I don't want to go to 5. If we do find a red source here, we're golden. Unless they just kill the Sentinel. Nope. Could be Play with Fire, could be Spike Field Hazard. No need for blue just yet. Frostbite, that too. Forgot that costs 1. Of course it's Frostbite, the Snow Mountains. And now we are losing. Mono red Celestis. Alright, there's a red source. Get our Stormseeker down. Can give Magda haste next turn if that's what we want to do. Or the Chariot if we find a land. Dragon's Fire can kill that. I think what we want to do is Magda give it haste, attack, then Dragons Fire the Regent in combat. And they don't have any other colors in permanence, so it won't kill Magda, so we should be good. Reveal a dragon. Autopay. Down to 11. Not too bad. Inferno, huh? They think they're the beatdown. It's curious. I think we want to land the Chariot here. We could hold up Negate, but I don't see a point to that. They can make this a 12, huh? But that takes all their mana. So unlikely they'll be able to kill us next turn. We just want to be sure we can kill them on the following turn. And Chariot is the best way to do that. Of course, if they have a sweeper, then there's not much we can do. We could hold up Negate, but then we're not presenting lethal. Now they have 7 mana, so they can make their Inferno a 13/6 and get us to 1. If they have a play with fire, we are dead. Fumarole, kill Magda. Okay. Add 3 colorless. And make it night. Curious. I guess they don't like what's in their hand. This is a very strange big red deck we are up against here. Second Celestis. Okay, boss. Just to make it day again, I suppose. We don't have great attacks here. We can play the Ranger class and then attack and do 6, put them to 2, which I guess isn't bad. Frostbite the Stormseeker, sure. Don't care. We are dead to a land off the top, but there's nothing we can do about that. Though now if we attack here, we only get 2 damage through, and they eat our Chariot. But then we have 4 2/2s, so they are dead the next turn. Unless they pass, and then they gain 1 life from the Celestis. But then we can power up the Lair of the Hydra. So we can get 7 damage through. We just need them to not have removal. If they do have removal, they go to 1, and we still win on the following turn. Yeah? could just be the Inferno holding priority here. They did find the removal. Okay. Alright, no mountain. They can get up to 3 here if they don't cast a spell. They discard a mountain. Maybe they pulled that off the top of the Celestis. So they get up to 3. They still need a removal spell. And they go to 1. We don't have anything else to do with our mana, so we'll use the Ranger class. Alright, they did not find removal. Game 2. That was uncomfortably close. Yeesh, we don't have a good answer to the Inferno. It can't be countered, right? Yeah. I don't think we want negate for burn spells in the Celestis. Dragon's Fire is fine for the Moonveil Regent, and other creatures, they might have Shatterskull Smashing, I guess, is a decent way to take care of the Inferno. On the play... No, we're on the draw now. We won that game. So on the draw, we don't want to bring in the Naturalist, because it probably won't get to attack profitably. We could go with the Tracker or the Stormseeker, I think are our good options. I think I want the Tracker, just so we don't run out of cards. Seems good enough. Let's try it. This is definitely not the matchup Depraz had in mind when constructing this sideboard. And we need a green source. Is Dragon's Fire enough to get us there? How many green sources do we have? 5, 9, 13, 14, 15. So we have a 25% chance to draw green at any one time. That seems okay. Well, better than 25. Oh hey, there's a green source. I am great at Magic. Okay, I think we just go for the Ranger class here. Either of these they'll just kill. Though I guess Innkeeper means we can play Chariot next turn, and we always want to play Chariot on 3 because that's the best thing you can do in Standard. They don't kill the Innkeeper. It's interesting. Though maybe they don't have something in hand that kills the Innkeeper. Something else could be holding priority. I will take 2. And then I will gain 2 back when I play this Chariot. I will attack for 1. Got him. Feeling pretty good here. I don't think I take this trade. I want to be able to crew the Chariot next turn and have a token to copy. Ah, they have the Barbarian to take out the Chariot. Very smart. But we have Ranger class to follow up, which is good. There's no more blue spells in the deck, so we don't have to worry about playing Pathway on blue. I guess just Ranger class into power up seems pretty strong. I don't see any need to hold open Dragon's Fire here. Now we can attack here. Okay, there goes my 2-2. We are still winning the race, so we're fine. Especially with the Innkeeper. Could power up Ranger class or just play Stormseeker Sentinel. Or just Stormseeker, hold open class. Or hold open Dragon's Fire, I mean. We'll probably cast the Smashing, so we'll play this on red. See if we can attack. Maybe they have a Frostbite or something similar. They probably want to kill the Stormseeker, so I'll keep putting counters on the token. Yep. Let's see, they could untap and cast Inferno. I don't think there's anything they can untap and cast that I'm really afraid of that dies to Dragon's Fire for 3, so let's just play the Sentinel here. The life gain from the Innkeeper is definitely helping us out here. Alright, that is one that I will want to kill with the Dragon's Fire. And Magda can help us do it. I guess we should give them the chance to block first. Is there any reason to wait for next turn to kill that? I don't think so. And still might use the Smashing, so we'll just pass here. Tap Magda for mana. There's the Inferno. But they're at 6. We have enough mana to kill it. That's fine. Or we have enough mana to kill both their blockers if they're going to attack with their Inferno. That works too. X4. 2 and 2. And bye-bye. And we got him. Quick and easy. Our cards are more powerful than theirs. Pretty much how I would describe that match. All their burn spells are 1-for-1s, and Ranger's Class and Chariot and all that are multiple cards in one, so we got them. On the play again, very nice. We'll need to draw some lands, but on the play I think I can keep a turn 2 Magda. Green, black, huh? Lately that's usually been Storm the Festival mid-range stuff. Innkeeper would support that, and we don't find land, unfortunate. Do we cast the Stormseeker here? I guess so. I don't want to waste the mana. Okay, more ramp for our opponent. We can kill that with Dragon's Fire if necessary. Which, seeing as they can storm the festival next turn, I think that is necessary. But I think we've already lost this. Yeah, we'll go to game 2. Lost to drawing no lands. Burning Hands is good. On the play, Naturalist is good. Negate is fine. They play Blood on the Snow too, and Storm the Festival, run in 7, which also get hit by D-Stroke. but I can't think of any large creatures they play. Probably also have Chariot, which either works. But I don't think we want all 4 counters. 2 should be plenty. Do I want to cut the Dragon's Fire? It doesn't kill Ren tokens generally, whereas Burning Hands does, and we don't need that much removal on the play. Seems okay. We need the Dragons and Chariot to finish the job. Don't want to take out any of the ramp. Stormseeker's really good on the play. Maybe I should bring in those as well. Maybe Burning Hands. This is not the mono green matchup. We should be the beatdown, and removal is not great for that. So that seems as aggressive as we can possibly be. We'll try it. Yeah, Innkeeper Ranger class, that's enough to get us started. And 4 lands, so we will get to do things. Whether we play Innkeeper or class on 2 will largely depend on whether we draw a Chariot or Moonveil Regent. In which case we want to play those on 3, so we would play the Innkeeper. Otherwise we'll play the Ranger class because we can attack more reliably. Is a land, so we'll go with the Ranger class. Opponent ramps as well. I think we go for the Goldspan next turn rather than powering up the class here. We'll have plenty of mana to do those things once we have the Goldspan on board. Chariot is not great when we have all these lands in hand and nothing to really start killing our opponent. We want to go Goldspan, not Magda here. See if they have an answer to the Goldspan. I don't see a reason not to play Magda here. They're still a couple turns away from Blood on the Snow. And now we at least have enough blockers to take out their Chariot if they do attack and if we feel that is necessary. Ren. It's only a 4/4 though. We can power up the Ranger class and attack through it. And with Ren on board, we definitely have to kill this Chariot. Question is, do we try to attack Ren? Or do we just go face? I think they'll probably block anyway. Let's try and take out Ren. Ren dies. Probably means they have another one. Let's see if we can find anything off the top. Chariot might keep us in the game. It can't attack through their 5/5s though. Yeah, and now they have 3 of them, so we're never getting through again.
The entire forest is an army.
Really, they're going to let me attack with Goldspan. No blocks. Let's see if they'll let me kill Ren this time. Unfortunately, we can't use any of this mana, as we just find land off the top here. Chariot can keep us alive for a little bit, but as soon as they start wanting to block with their tokens, we will lose. Unless we find a whole bunch of creatures off the top with Ranger class. Check for traps, sure. Three 5/5s, huh? Do I block the second one? I guess so. We can't be dead to a cat token. And Innkeeper gains enough life that it's not worth blocking with at the moment. Next turn we can threaten to block with Lair of the Hydra, which can at least kill one of their tokens. Do nothing. And we do not get a creature off the top. So I believe we're dead on board. Yeah. That's a whole lot of nothing. I think we have to do better than 5 lands. And no plays until turn 3. That's a little better. Put back the Goldspan because it's the least likely we'll get to it, and this curve is nice with negate. Should have put back the Chariot, of course. Couldn't have known that, though. And against blue, they might counter the first one or something. -3 to foretell. Okay. Here's Magda. I don't imagine Magda will survive the turn. But you never know. Does not indeed survive the turn. And now we have to find land or we lose. Game 2. There's just absolutely no way we come back from not having that turn. Even if we did proceed to draw further lands. Stormseeker comes in. Dragon's Fire comes out against Izzet. And Naturalist can come in on the play. And then maybe just cut a Moonveil Regent. But we want to have a good follow-up for our Stormseeker. I think it's the Moonveil Regent. We need our 2 drops to have a good early game, even though we do have a million of them. 22 drops seems legit. That includes 4 Shatter Skulls. We'll try that. That's fine. Sentinel into Innkeeper, Sentinel into Regent on 3 if all goes well. Or Magda. Magda's good too. And then we can go for the Sentinel or the Innkeeper here. The life might matter. Let's get the Innkeeper down. I could also play the Sentinel, but I don't think there's a great reason to do that at the moment. Okay, Magda down. That's fine. So do we just slam the Regent here? Or we can cast and power up Ranger class. I think Regent's going to be better. And we can also play the other Sentinel now for an attacker. Do not want to discard Ranger class because it's very good. Our opponent's turn 3 is Iteration, which bodes well for us. Because unless they find exactly Fading Hope for the Regent here, we're going to play Power Up Ranger class and attack for 7. We have a Magda too. Does that change things? I guess so. Mana's good. I mean, we can just play both here. Decline. Want to play the Ranger class. And we'll tap Magda. Now we will draw a card. And we find a land. I don't think we're going to need it for any other purpose. So we'll pay for it. And level up the Ranger class. Do I want to use the treasure here? Instead of 1 damage, I think we'll keep the treasure. Buff the Moonveil Regent to get it out of Thundering Rebuke range. Things like that. And Dragon's Fire. Another iteration should probably seal our opponent's fate. Kill Magda, of course. And take a lot of damage. Let's see, 2, 8, 9, 10, 11. Go to 2, seems okay. I don't think they're going to have something that... I guess they could have Burn Down the House, which means buffing the Regent would be good. And we can power up the class, or draw a card from the Regent, or both if we want to use the treasure, which I guess is fine. Okay, Ranger class is a good thing to cast next turn if they do somehow not die here, but they don't. On to game 3. So we've seen Dragon's Fire now, which means they do play dragons, which means Tangle Trap should probably come in. And maybe Disdainful Stroke over Negate because it hits Goldspan. And then we can take out the Naturalist, I think. Getting that mana advantage is really good. I think we can take out a Smashing on the draw. We won't need to find lands quite as badly. I don't know. I never really liked Tangle Trap in the sideboard in these kinds of decks. I'd rather just try and attack around the dragon than spend a card killing the dragon, or try to win before it happens. But we should give it a try here. This is the matchup for which it is intended. I think Stormseeker definitely still stays in. Maybe we take out the Innkeeper. Our life total's not quite as important in this match. Whereas Naturalist attacks for more and ramps more consistently than the Innkeeper. Yeah, that's fine. Not exciting, but Ranger class, Chariot is still pretty strong. That's not the button I wanted to push. Oh well. That's probably Jwari. Do I play around it though? I think so. They have something else though. Maybe Galvanic Iteration. If they do have something else that is proactive, I don't want them using it. Or maybe they're just on full control. You never know. But I'd also probably rather they Jwari the Ranger class than Chariot as well. I guess if I played a Forest there, I could have attacked for one with a Lair of the Hydra, but that doesn't seem terribly good. Okay, no counterspell open. Chariot resolves. And we're drawing nothing but land, which is not great. And they do have something still. Maybe a Dragon's Fire for one of the tokens. Yeah, sure. We can still accrue the Chariot next turn with the other Chariot. Or the tokens from the other Chariot, rather. And I want that to resolve through a Jwari, so I'm going to go for that before, or rather than playing the Innkeeper here. I've seen a lot of these lists running for Jwari, so I want to keep playing around it. Divide by 0 is pretty bad too. Which means we only get to attack for one here. And once their Hall of the Storm Giants is turned on, we don't really get to attack at all. But we can cast the Chariot again next turn. They did have the other Jwari. D-Stroke is not bad. We don't have a blue source though, unless we play the Innkeeper, which we kind of want to do anyway here. But we can't Innkeeper Chariot and hold open D-Stroke, which is rough. I guess we can use the Lair of the Hydra to crew the Chariot, but we also don't have enough mana to do that. I guess we only need to make a 1/1. So then we have exactly enough for D-Stroke. If they have any removal for the Chariot, though, we get absolutely destroyed. I think it's worth it, though. We don't want them to play this Mascot Exhibition or an Epiphany. We get to copy our token, so that's good. I don't think we need more than one treasure here. So I'd rather make the cat. That's fine. Which means that they don't have a dragon in hand, or they would have killed the Chariot. They may not even know we play blue yet. I'm not sure if we've revealed that. I guess we played lots of pathways previously. So now we make a bunch more tokens. And hold open Tangle Trap, I suppose. And attack for 9 here. Seems okay. They're going to need quite a bit to get out of that, and they don't have it. Not too bad. That didn't feel as good as it should have, and Tangle Trap, as I somewhat predicted, just sat in our hands doing nothing and would have been better off as an aggressive 2-drop. But we still got there. We'll take it. Back for the conclusion. This deck I found to be rather inconsistent. It's so much better when you have Sentinel into 2-drop than when you don't. But it still does pretty well. As you saw, we got a good amount of wins here. Things I would change: I don't like Tangle Trap. Maybe play Outland Liberator instead for artifact hate. I don't think having removal specifically for flyers is really relevant. That's just how I feel, my experience playing the game. I'd rather just have more versatile aggressive slots. Other than that, they're pretty good. Reckless Stormseeker is a house, definitely. Craft those if you're into this sort of thing. Moonveil Regent, I'm not sure is really worth the wild cards. It often drew 1 card, which I suppose makes it a decent play, but is it worth 3 mythics? I'm not really sure. Of course, if you get to play it on 4 and give it haste with Reckless Stormseeker, then it's significantly better, but it doesn't win the game the same way that Chariot or Goldspan do. And Briarbridge Tracker is a good card, but I don't think it's really that great in this deck if you're looking for things to not craft and still have this deck work. Of course, Magda and Ranger class are absolutely key, as are these two. Everything else is kind of flexible. But yeah, that was fun. Thanks for watching.